And there we can see I'm down to 0.023 as opposed to 0.323, so almost nothing. So here's our stake in the ground, our earth-in rod, and you can see we're connected. We've got two earth-in wires connected. One of them goes into my office and one of them goes into Esther of my lounge where we sit in the evening. So back to the said earth-in connection, our connection to earth. This is, as you can see, the one I mentioned earlier that is connecting the earth to our lounge and to my office. But it's also a useful thing for some of the work I do on products, and at the moment I'm developing our own body voltage monitor, and so for that I need to get the most accurate results and therefore decide what's the best monitor for you. I need to connect not to an electrical circuit but to the earth directly, which I always recommend. And so what you see there is now I've connected two earthing connections to two that I can use for two different monitors. I've already got to the stage that you don't need to see. I'm choosing the two quality monitors for me to choose the best one for you. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into my office and see how they're working. This is a sort of multifunctional video. Like, these monitors are quite multifunctional actually, but we only want one thing from them, which is body voltage readings. And we only want one thing for you, which is better health. So let's try and remember that as I'll try and remember that, not get too technical. So these are, so as part of my day, the day in the life of an EMF consultant, I'm at the moment that one of my big projects is the whole earthing, grounding, body voltage thing, and I've decided to create a package to measure body voltage that is quality and reliable and reasonably priced, and I'm quite a long way down that path, and I'm sort of at the final gate, if you like, as I decide between these two monitors here, the blue and white one and the black one. So let's first of all look at how easy they are to use. Little bit, the blue and white one is probably the easiest. One click to the right and you're reading body voltage in the DC mode, but you need to change that to AC, alternating current, because that's what we're dealing with. On both of them it's the same. So I've moved the black one 2 places, both of them going to the V. You'll see I've already plugged in the wands rather, and the earthing point, you saw the other end of them on that other at the beginning of the video, outside. And so both of the monitors are connected to an outside earthing point that you saw earlier, and both of the monitors have the brass wand connected ready for me to get hold of to measure my own body voltage. Also, we've got part of this test is a earthing or grounding mat that's looking a bit tatty because I've been sitting on and getting on and off it and sitting on it for hours at a time. Now, what you also can see is the connector that is connected also to the earth outside and plugs in at the back of this earthing mat, but it's not there. I don't want it plugged in at the moment for this point of the exercise. Okay, and off we go into the readings. So the first readings will be to read me unearthed, and so I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Oh yeah, just about. There's my hands, both of them holding the wand, which means the monitors are now reading what my body is receiving and doing in conjunction with the electricity it's receiving from me sitting around in my office, from the wires around me, the computer, maybe some dirty electricity. That's all going into my body, and meaning that as I sit through all day in here, if I don't earth, then I will be a container that receives to all my organs, my mind, my heart, my liver, all those things that should not have this will be receiving around about 0.37 volts or 0.357, 0.369, moving around a bit on the two monitors, but slightly less than half a volt of electricity going through my body all day. Now, what I'm going to do is pop these two wands on to the mat that isn't earthed, and what we see there is that the mat is not as conductive as I am, because it's dropped down from 0.3 something to 0.2 something, and that's on a conductive mat. So it's a metallic mat that is meant for me to sit on and be connected to the earth, which it isn't at the moment. Sorry if this is complicated. Now I'm going to take these wands off and place them on the desk, and you'll see that actually I'm the most conductive thing, followed by this mat that's supposed to be conductive, and this is what is happening on the monitors when neither me nor the mat are connected to them. So what you're looking at now is both monitors, but what you can't see because I'm behind the camera is that I'm now stood up without any shoes on and holding both wands. What you also can't see behind me is my dear wife Esther.
Hello.
And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to move around as much as the length of the wires will allow me around the office, and you should see that the figures will change as I move around an office that is carrying different levels of current. So here we go, I'm moving around, and you can see I've gone over to the left. So in fact even the monitors have moved, and I think I was getting a maximum of just over half a volt. Now Esther, if you come over here and stand right next to me, both of us are in our bare feet. I'm going to pass her the wands, and you'll see that she's pretty much the same as me now. But if you want to move around now, let's see as you get over the wiring if you're more or less than me. And as you can see, look, she's going up, walking the same sort of places I was, and going up almost up to a volt. In fact, she just made it there to a volt, and I'll try again, just see what as far away as I can, going all the places that Esther did, right away as far as I can, and you can see that I am only half as conductive as Esther. Okay, now we have got coming into shot the earth connector. Okay, so I'm going to connect the mat, and I put the wands on it, but I'm going to connect it to the mat. It's now connected. Now look at that. That's how good the earthing mats are. And what we really want, what you really want to know, is what happens when I get hold of the wands. How conductive am I? How much electricity am I carrying? Now I'm connected to the earth, which is what these wands will show, because I'm going to get hold of the wands, back where we were, and then I'm going to hold both wands in one hand, because I need the other one to get this and get hold of that. And there we can see I'm down to 0.023 as opposed to 0.323, so almost nothing. I'm still a little bit more conductive than the mat, but I've got a livable, I can happily work away in my office with that minimal amount of electricity. And I think my overall feeling, I like the black one best. So here we are in an upstairs bedroom in our house for the next earthing, grounding, stroke, body voltage experiment. The kit I've got here is my dear wife Esther.
Hi.
And this body voltage monitor, which you can see is reading quite high at the moment. We'll explain why in a minute. And a body voltage, or rather earthing, body voltage removing or reducing mat, what you would probably know as an earthing mat. It's the EMF protection one that you can get from our shop for around about £30. What you'll see coming into shot here is the earthing connector that is the thing that makes this work. But it's disconnected at the moment for the sake of the experiment. So Esther's on the bed, sat on the mat, and the monitor, you do not want to be trying to sleep in that, particularly, well, anybody shouldn't sleep in that because you won't properly, but particularly you don't want to try and sleep in that if you're pregnant. It is not safe for the baby's health. Okay, there is the connector. Esther, would you be so good as you connect it? And there you can see we've gone down from, I can't remember what it was, but I'm going to unplug it again in a second. We're at just over 0.1 of a volt per square meter, which is what Esther's carrying at the moment. But I'm going to negate the use of the body or the earthing mat by unplugging it, and you'll see the difference. There you go. Settle, it takes a while, a couple of spikes, and then it settles down at 1.7. So there you are. That's what you can do. Ideally, best thing to do in a bedroom is shut all the power off completely in the house. But if you can't, as most people can't, find a way to do that, then this earthing mat is the next best thing. You can get them from our website, emf-protection.co.uk. Put in the search field earthing mat, and they're about £30.